DAZN is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year.
It's over! There's no way back from this, surely!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
That is what sport means. That is what the EuroLeague trophy means. Are you not entertained? I'm not supposed to be cheering, but this is X Series. I can do whatever I want.
Everything is difficult in this life, so still you need to be on it.
It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win!
Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time, a night to remember.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now!
How do you like it? So aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this. The corner knockdown. Still the undisputed champion of the world. Weigh in live on DAZN.
We're just minutes away from Jake Paul stepping on this stage and weighing in for the first time since last November when he beat Mike Tyson. This time the opponent is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. What's going to happen when they go face to face for the final time before tomorrow night's big showdown here in Anaheim? You're about to find out live on DAZN.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Everyone's got something to say.
There is a new king of violence, and his name is Jake Paul.
But with every comment, a fighter grows stronger. One is defending a name, the other is building one. The ring doesn't care where you come from, only if you can survive in it. Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
We are just 24 hours away from a huge night of fights here in Anaheim, California. But before they climb into the ring, the fighters climb onto the scale at today's weigh-in. And you're looking live inside the Honda Center, the home of the Anaheim Ducks. But for Saturday night, it's home of the sweet science as Jake Paul's back in the ring for the first time since that epic encounter with Mike Tyson that was viewed by over 100 million people around the world. Hey, everybody, I'm Todd Grisham. Next to the Magic Man, former world champion Antonio Tarver. Used to be able to get under your opponent's skin, most notably with Roy Jones. Right. Jake Paul has built a career on stirring the pot. What do you think he's got in store for us today here at this weigh-in?
Well, I think he's going to always looking to go viral. I just don't know what's up his sleeve, but it's going to be interesting to see. Chavez Jr. looks like he's focused, more focused than we've seen him, but this is an opportunity for Jake to really get into contentionship rather than being just a prospect.
All right, yes. So you think he might be a contender if he wins this fight?
I do.
Many people think it'll be the toughest fight of his career. Chavez Jr., the former middleweight champion of the world, let's be honest, he has not looked good for about 4 or 5 years. But, man, this week he's got a pep in his step. He's not going to miss weight. He's missed weight 4 times in his career. He's taken this very seriously, and he said, if I don't win this, I'm going to retire. What do you expect from Chavez Jr.?
I think he's going to put out his best effort. You know, he did say the guy that Jake lost to wasn't even on his level. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that he's a feather in his cap. He feels like he's the best fighter Jake has ever faced. But, you know, Chavez is going to have to show us more than what he's been bringing lately.
Right,
for sure.
Well, Jake Paul's been trying to bother him all week long, saying whatever he can to try and rattle the former champion. Hasn't worked yet, but who knows what's going to happen when they go face-to-face on the scale here in a few minutes. Let's show you the fight card that you can see live and exclusively here on DAZN tomorrow night, and it all starts with what could be the fight of the night right out of the gate. Floyd Schofield versus Tevin Farmer. Following that, Avius Griffin, man, what a story he's got. Wrongly incarcerated for several years. He's out of jail and promises to put on a huge show. Raul Curiel, he's back in action after a Fight of the Year contender from last year. Zer Ramirez, Junio Gortikos for the WBA and WBO World Cruiserweight titles. That fight is going to be a banger. And, of course, the main event, Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We're just a couple of minutes away from these guys taking the scale. But right now, let's talk a little footy here on DAZN. And for that, we send it across the pond to Olivia.
A knockout weekend of football coming up in the FIFA Club World Cup as we've reached the round of 16. We kick off with an all-Brazilian bout that could go the distance as Palmeiras take on Botafogo. That's followed by a European clash as Portuguese giants Benfica square off against Chelsea. On Sunday, Messi meets his ex, and it's complicated as Inter Miami take on European champions PSG. And if that's not enough for you, how about this? Harry Kane's Bayern boys take on Brazilians Flamengo in a main event matchup under the lights to see who will progress to the quarter-finals. Every match from now until the final on July the 13th is live and free right here on DAZN.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the FIFA Club World Cup has been a huge success. I want to thank those of you watching it around the world here on DAZN. But for now, it's time to get the fighters here on the scale as we show you that you can watch every World Club Cup game live here all the way until July 13th. I might even hit one of the semifinals at Giant Stadiums in Meadowlands. You a big soccer fan, Antonio?
Big soccer fan.
All right, maybe you can come with me.
Awesome.
You can get us into a suite. Let's hope. It is live and it is free all summer long. Now, let's get this party started. We go onto the stage, and our master of ceremonies, it's Big Mo.
TikTok, Amber.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Honda Center here in Anaheim, California. And in 24 hours' time, we'll be back here for one of the biggest fight cards of the year as we see the return of Jake Paul taking on his toughest competition to date, the former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Today's public weigh-ins are presented by Celsius Live Fit Essential Energy and are brought to you by Nikisa Badarian and Jake Paul for Most Valuable Promotions. Paul versus Chavez is also sponsored by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Event Ticket Center. Don't just watch it, experience it live. Fansly. For the best 18 and up content creator site, head over to fansly.com/Paul Chavez to see exclusive content from our events and more of our beautiful ring card models. And Torque Law, representing the people. And finally, Built Premium Basics, the best apparel in the game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be joined on stage by some very special people. And up first, I would like to welcome our MVP event models presented by Fansly. Up first, she is the newest addition, the newest event model for Most Valuable Promotions. Please welcome Marissa Ayers. And following Marissa, our MVP's returning talents, please welcome Virginia Sandhouse and Delia Sylvain. And finally, MVP's model boss, please welcome Rafa Milagres.
And finally, introducing the individuals who put this whole event together. Introducing first, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage the president of Golden Boy Promotions. Please welcome Mr. Eric Gomez. I would also like to welcome the head of boxing for Most Valuable Promotions. Please welcome Mike Leonardi. And I'd also welcome the COO of Most Valuable Promotions, Bryce Holden. And now the CEO and co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, Nikisa Badarian. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the 6th Division and 11-time world champion, the chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, ladies and gentlemen, Oscar de la Hoya. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get these weigh-ins underway. I would like to make a special mention that this and all fights tomorrow night are sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, by their commissioner, Peter Villegas, chair, as well as the executive officer, Andy Foster. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our first bout on the prelims, which are available to you for free with your DAZN subscription tomorrow night. Introducing first, he holds a professional record of 33 victories versus 18 defeats and 5 draws. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, please welcome Jose Zurdo Jesus Morales. Official weight for Jose Morales, 121.6 pounds. And now his opponent fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow. He holds a near-perfect professional record of 14 victories versus just 1 defeat, with 9 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, please welcome John Scrappy Ramirez. Official weight for Scrappy Ramirez, 119.8 pounds. And now for the final time before tomorrow night, Jose Morales and John Ramirez face off. All right, so Scrappy Ramirez. Well, there we go. My mic's open, everybody. I can talk. A little too late as Scrappy Ramirez getting set to take on Morales, who was a very late replacement. But look at this record, 33, 18, and 5. A lot of experience, Antonio.
It is a lot of experience, and he's going to have to use that experience because Scrappy has some power, bro. 14-1 with 9 KOs.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the super featherweight division.
Introducing first to the scales, he holds a professional record of 34 victories versus 16 defeats, with 22 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Managua, Nicaragua, introducing Rene Gemelo Alvarado.
Hey. So here comes Rene Alvarado, fighting out of Nicaragua, another fighter with a lot of experience, 50 pro fights. He's taking on Victor Morales, who MVP has a lot of excitement around, but this isn't an easy fight, is it, Antonio?
It's not, because not only has Rene Alvarado has these over 50 fights, but he's fought some real credible fighters. Gamboa, Cuban Gamboa, Olympic gold medalist. He's fought some contenders. So Victor Morales has got his hands full at 20-0.
Official weight for Rene Alvarado, 129.6 pounds. And now his opponent, undefeated as a professional, 20 fights, 20 wins, and 1 draw. Introducing now, fighting out of Vancouver, Washington, here is Victor Morales Jr.
Yeah, Antonio, Victor Morales is facing off against a former world champion in Rene Alvarado. A lot of pressure on him to perform, and we're going to learn a lot about this guy, aren't we?
I think a lot is going to be revealed on this whole night card. But yeah, Victor Morales come in with a 20-0 record. This is a good gatekeeper type of fight where we can see all of Victor Morales' upside in a fight like this.
Official weight for Victor Morales Jr., 130 pounds even. And for the final time, Rene Alvarado and Victor Morales Jr. face off.
What do you think of the physique there, Antonio?
A little bit to be desired from an undefeated fighter. I would have loved to see him ripped up, but maybe, you feel me, he's put on, maybe the weigh-in took place and he's eating already.
Well, he's going to have to absorb a lot of body shots from Alvarado, who loves to work low.
Yeah, nah, I just think it's a little soft around the midsection, if you ask me.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Rene Alvarado, Victor Morales Jr. Tomorrow night, live from the Honda Center. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the heavyweight division. Scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds tomorrow night here in Anaheim. Introducing first to the scales, he holds a professional record of 6 victories versus 3 defeats, with 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, please welcome Dominic Hardy.
Well, Antonio, we know what this fight is supposed to be. Dominic Hardy's supposed to come in here, try and put some rounds up, put a little bit of a fight in, but in the end, you would think that Golden Boy's prospect is going to knock this guy out, but he doesn't want to play to that script, does he?
You know what? Like I said, you got to get these guys fights, and this is just part of the game. Dominic come in with a 50% winning streak, 6-3. I mean, I think it's an upside for Joshua Edwards here to prove that he belongs.
Dominic Hardy does have 4 knockouts in his 6 wins, so he's got a little pop. Let's see if he can deliver one of those big bombs tomorrow night.
Official weight for Dominic Hardy, 251.4 pounds. And now introducing his opponent to the scales, undefeated as a professional, 2 fights, 2 victories. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, please welcome the Rocket, Joshua Edwards.
You're looking at a no-nonsense type of heavyweight, Antonio. He just wants to come in, do his business, and get the heck out of Dodge. 2-0 with 2 knockouts. He's promising to get his 3rd straight knockout tomorrow night.
And a big boy, got a good size on him, 2-0. They must be very confident in him, and he must be very confident in himself. Looking forward to see this big puncher punch tomorrow night.
Official weight for the Rocket, 226 pounds even. And for the final time, Dominic Hardy and Joshua Edwards face off.
Hey, Todd, I just want to say, man, you heard it in the crowd. It's been so long since we've been excited about a USA heavyweight, man. The crowd went crazy for a minute.
Yeah, you know, Moses Atama out of the UK is getting a lot of buzz as the next great young heavyweight. Jared Anderson, a lot of people thought he might be the next great American heavyweight. He's flamed out a little bit. Who knows? We could be looking at a guy that could make some noise here soon in the U.S.
Most definitely.
This is going to be a good one.
One more time for the heavyweights tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Live from right here in the Honda Center.
Boy, Edwards is an intimidating specimen, isn't he?
He is, and it's the look on his face, man. You see that he's no nonsense.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the bantamweight division, scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds. Introducing first to the scales, fighting out of the red corner tomorrow night. He is nearly undefeated as a professional with 8 victories versus just 1 defeat and 1 draw, with 7 of those 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Stockton, California, please welcome the Beast, Vincent Avina.
Well, Antonio, this guy is a 4-time U.S. National Amateur Champion.
Wow.
I know you love amateur boxing. What kind of pedigree does he bring to the ring tomorrow night?
Oh, he brings a lot of pedigree. When you 4-time national champion, man, and it's nothing bigger than that other than the Olympics. So, you know, in this country, he was the best fighter we had in his weight class.
Well, he is certainly going to have his hands full against Alexander Getch, who we'll talk about here in a minute. But listen, this is not an easy out for Getch. We know what this guy can do as an amateur. Only 1 professional loss so far. He has a big opportunity on a big stage to really reignite his career.
Most definitely, man. And 1-loss guys are the toughest sometimes to defeat. I mean, they know how to lose. They know how it feels to lose, and they definitely don't want to do that anymore.
Official weight for the Beast, Vincent Avina, 120 pounds even. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent tomorrow night, live here in Anaheim, undefeated as a professional. 7 victories, opposite no defeats, with 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Long Beach, California, by way of Harbor City, California, please welcome Alexander "Alicat" Getch.
We talked about Avina being a 4-time national champion. Getch, a 2-time U.S. national champion, and earning the #1 ranking in the 112-pound youth male division. His rise, he's been really good since his debut back in August of 2023. He won his debut by KO in 33 seconds.
Wow.
Official weight for the Alicat, 124 pounds even. And for the final time before tomorrow night, Vincent Avina and Alexander Getch face off.
2 U.S. amateur standouts collide tomorrow night.
Man, and out of the 15 win, they have 13 knockouts. So, you know, both of these young guys can hit also.
Stockton versus Long Beach, ladies and gentlemen. going down in Anaheim, Vincent Avina versus Alexander Getch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds tomorrow night and is for the WBA Continental Gold Welterweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he holds a professional record of 12 victories versus 6 defeats, with 8 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, please welcome Kevin Thunderstorm Johnson.
Now, this is a guy you know well, Antonio.
Very well, very well. I know Kevin Johnson. He came up under the Mayweather gym. Been knowing him for about 6-7 years. This guy can fight. I've seen some of the gym wars that he became famous for, and he's the gatekeeper at Mayweather gym. So if you come to Mayweather gym, you anywhere around this guy weight, that's the guy you're going to have to see.
Official weight for Kevin Johnson, 146.4 pounds. And now his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night, undefeated as a professional, 7 victories, all of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Bakersfield, California, please welcome Joel Iriarte.
Antonio, I've been able to call a couple of this guy's fights, man. He is long, he is strong, he is dangerous, but man, Kevin Johnson, I mean, I'm not say they're feeding it to the wolves by anything like that, but they are really going to try and test him tomorrow night as we get set to see him weigh in.
Man, he's a big welterweight by looking at him.
Official weight, 146.8 pounds for Joel Iriarte. And for the final time before they fight for the WBA Continental Gold Welterweight Championship tomorrow night, Kevin Johnson and Joel Iriarte face off.
Wow, the size of this guy at 170, 147 is amazing. And 7 knockouts, 7 wins, 7 knockouts. I just can't wait to see his power, but he looks strong, bro. He looks very strong.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the final bout on our prelims live from right here in the Honda Center tomorrow night. 10 2-minute rounds in the women's lightweight division. Introducing first to the scales. She is undefeated as a professional. 10 victories versus no defeats. Fighting out of Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, Mexico. Please welcome Yolanda Pitayita Vega.
Yolanda Vega just signed a contract with MVP, and for your first fight, they're going to put her in the ring against the 18-time world boxing champion, Holly Holm. She is a plus 250 underdog, Antonio, but from what I've been hearing on the inside here, she is a very live dog.
And that would be amazing to fight a legend like Holly Holmes and come out victorious. I met her, I believe, in Orlando for the first time when they did sign her. Man, I can imagine she's a good boxer.
Official weight for Yolanda Vega, 136.8 pounds. And now, ladies and gentlemen, her opponent making her return to the boxing ring, ladies and gentlemen. She holds a professional record of 33 victories versus just 2 defeats. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, she is the most dominant 2-sport women's combat sport fighter in history. She is the former UFC bantamweight champion and the former WBA and WBC welterweight champion of the world, the preacher's daughter, Holly Holm.
How could you not love and respect Holly Holm for everything she's given, not only to this sport, but to the entire fight combat sports world?
Most definitely, especially for women's all around the world, man. She's been a figurehead and an example of what these ladies can truly accomplish.
Official weight for Holly Holm, 136.6 pounds. And for the final time, Yolanda Vega and Holly Holm face off.
How in shape is Holly Holm? My goodness.
She looks amazing. She had her six-pack up there.
She had a six-pack on top of a six-pack. This fight is going to be fire, and it's the final prelim fight. You can catch it live and free here on DAZN.
Clear. Yolanda.
Yolanda Vega, congratulations. Great job. Felicidades. Gran trabajo. We just realized that you just signed a contract with Most Valuable Promotions. What are your thoughts as you're walking into this fight against Holly Holm? Acabas de firmar tu contrato con Most Valuable Promotions. ¿Cuáles son tus pensamientos cuando estás ya dispuesta a enfrentar a un reto muy importante en tu carrera?
Destruirla, quedarme con todo, ir por todo y serla mejor.
My idea is to destroy her, go for everything, and keep everything. In your mind, what it is to keep everything. En tu mente, ¿qué significa quedarte con todo?
Destronarla, que la gente me quiera a mí y yo ser la mejor, siempre.
My idea is to dethrone her and that people will love me now and forever. Well, congratulations on everything. Felicidades en todo y la mejor de las suertes mañana. Best of luck tomorrow.
Muchísimas gracias.
Back to you guys.
Welcome back. It's been 12 years since we've seen you in a boxing ring. How are you feeling now that you're just 24 hours away from your return?
I feel great, and I feel nervous in the best way. That's because I care about this, I love this sport, and I love victory, and that's what I'm going for.
What is it that brought you back?
You know, I just feel like it was unfinished business, so I'm here to finish some business, fight in a fourth weight division that I never fought in before all the years that I was boxing.
You're facing a very tough Mexican, undefeated, looking to prove something herself. What kind of fight are you expecting?
I'm expecting a clean fight. I want to get in there and be clean, show my skill, and show a little something new. It's going to be a different style from what I used to fight. So I'm just, I learned a lot from MMA. I'm going to incorporate that with the boxing I had before and come in with just more tools.
Good luck, Holly.
Thank you.
Guys?
Versus the return of the dominant former world champion, Holly Holm. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we begin our main card tomorrow night, live around the world on DAZN pay-per-view from right here in Anaheim, California, in the Honda Center. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first to the scales, fighting out of the red corner, he holds a professional record of 33 victories versus 8 defeats and 1 draw, with 8 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, please welcome the former IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World, ladies and gentlemen, Tevin Farmer.
Well, Antonio, this guy may be the best fighter in the world that's lost 3 fights in a row. Those 2 battles with William Zepeda were epic, and he believes he is like 2 or 3 levels better than young Floyd Schofield. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I know Tevin comes in with a lot of confidence because of those Zepeda fights, gave him that. But this gives Floyd Schofield an opportunity to show that he is in the game to stay. So I'm excited.
Official weight for Tevin Farmer, 135 pounds even. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night. He is perfect undefeated as a professional, 18 fights, 18 victories, 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, please welcome the WBA International Lightweight Champion, Floyd Kid Austin Schofield.
Schofield, it's time. We know a lot about his father, don't know a lot about his son because he don't talk much, but he's here to prove that he's everything they say he is, and a good win against Tevin Former, man, might put him right back at the top of that lightweight division.
This is the big fight for Floyd Schofield. It is sink or swim tomorrow night here at the Pond.
Official weight for Floyd Schofield, 134.8 pounds. And for the final time before tomorrow night, Tevin Farmer and Floyd Schofield face off.
A lot of heat on this fight, Antonio. This could be the fight of the night. What do you think happens?
I think Tevin Former is going to have to keep Floyd Schofield at bay. He hasn't been able to keep many fighters off of him, even though he has good technical skills. It's the power that he needs in order to get these fighters respect.
You've been very critical about your opponent. You say, Floyd, it's nothing new. You've seen it all before.
Yeah.
Why is this a challenge for you then?
I'm going to be honest, you know, we popped our stuff throughout the week, and I said what I said, and it's true. He ain't not going to bring nothing that I never seen before, but at the same time, the kid, young, he's strong, he going to come to fight, so I got to make sure I'm on A game, and I can't underestimate him, you feel me? So he been watching me for a long time. I was the champion when he was a kid, so he get a chance to fight me now. So I know he gonna come with his best, and I just gotta be ready. I'm getting older in the sport, but I still feel young. As y'all can see, my performances lately has been great, and I'm just ready, man.
Old adage says that we learn more from our defeats than from our victories. After losing twice against Cepeda, what do you bring new to this event?
Well, we definitely learn a lot from our defeats. You know, when you winning, sometimes it's hard to see your flaws. And sometimes when you lose close fights like Cepeda, which I thought it was 2-0, or if you want to be nice, you can go 1-1, right? So I learned a lot from them fights as well, but I'm just ready for tomorrow. Kid's a dog. I'm a dog. It's going to be a great show. So tomorrow, make sure y'all lock in and tune into the zone, because Tevin Farmer and Floyd Schofield is about to have an all-out brawl.
Real quick, you are one of those men that doesn't matter if you take a win or a loss, you're always willing to take a challenge, but moreover, you always bring so much excitement to that ring. What motivates you?
Well, you know, my family, I got a great family, my fiance, so, you know, just to keep going. And on top of that, I'm from Philadelphia, so I started boxing at 19 years old. That's one thing. I started boxing late. That's one thing. I only had 16 amateurs to fight. That's another thing. And then being from Philly, that's another thing. I already started, when I was born, I started behind the 8 ball. So anything other than, if you grow up in Philly and you can get to this level, I already won in life. That's my thing. So my goal is to motivate people that's starting out young. I'm starting out older. If y'all want to do something, go do it. Stop letting people tell y'all what y'all can't do, because you only can't do it if your brain say you can't do it. And I'm going to show it tomorrow night. Tevin Farmer, he got it. He coming to kill, coming to slay.
Pure grit right here with Tevin Farmer. Thank you. Good luck.
Well, Floyd, it's been an interesting couple of months for you. You faced some adversity. Now you're back here going up against Tevin Farmer. How are you feeling just before the fight?
I'm feeling good. You know, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to give the fans a good show and, you know, earn my respect.
We know you have the talent to compete at the highest level, but that man has got a lot more experience than you coming into this fight. How do you overcome that?
Just be myself, listen to my dad, my coaches, follow the game plan. And, like I said, it's going to be a great fight.
Tevin doesn't have a lot of knockouts on his resume, but he's promised to finish you inside 7 rounds. How do you think this fight ends?
Definitely me be victorious. He's not stopping none of this. I'm not getting stopped, but yeah, I want to see him come prove it.
Good luck, Floyd.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, could be fight of the night tomorrow night. Tevin Farmer versus Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield, to open our DAZN pay-per-view. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the welterweight division schedule for 10 3-minute rounds. Introducing first to the scales, he holds a near-perfect professional record of 23 victories versus just 1 defeat. Fighting out of Bergen County, New Jersey, please welcome Julian Hammerhands Rodriguez.
This man had an outstanding amateur career. As a professional, though, Antonio, even he admits he hasn't lived up to his own expectations. Just a solitary loss, but he has a chance tomorrow night to pull off a big upset on a big platform and really reignite his career.
And that's awesome. Anytime a fighter can do that. Like I said, those one-loss guys are some of the hardest guys to beat. And look at him. He's in phenomenal shape.
Official weight for Hammerhands, 146.6 pounds.
He looks focused.
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night, he is undefeated as a professional. 17 fights, 17 wins, 16 of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, please welcome the current reigning WBC USA welterweight champion, Avius, the Underdog Griffin.
What a story this guy has, Antonio. Wrongly incarcerated for years, was finally let out of jail, missed so many of his prime years of fighting, and he said, look, I'm turning to boxing to get my life on track, get my family paid and taken care of. And MVP has recently signed this guy because they believe he can be a future world champion. Do you believe that too?
You know what? I believe he can because he has everything, the intangibles to be a star. So, as long as he continue to get those lessons at 17-0 with 16 knockouts, bro, welterweight division is on fire right now.
And he's got his French bulldog on the stage. Hopefully he doesn't bite. And I'm talking about the dog.
Right.
This man is promising a knockout victory, and he's got 16 out of 17 wins.
Official weight for Avius Griffin, 146.8 pounds. And for the final time before tomorrow night, Avius Griffin and Julian Rodriguez face off.
Hey, we've seen it with Bernard Hopkins. These guys that come out of jail are just built different, aren't they?
Yeah, I think he got a different type of energy, though. He might be one of these first social media guys that can truly fight. You heard me?
Been a lot of bad blood all week, a lot of back and forth. They cannot wait to get their hands on each other tomorrow night if they don't do it right now.
And can't say enough about the matchmaker. All these fights are 50-50. You don't want to miss it tomorrow night.
Avius, the Underdog Griffin, and Julian Rodriguez. We're going to hear from both of these guys, and we'll start first with Claudia Trejos.
Thank you, Todd. We're right here with Julian Rodriguez. There was a lot being said yesterday, and there were a couple of words exchanged. What are the last words before you actually see him tomorrow in the ring?
Listen, I'm here. I'm focused on the fight. The antics are over with. All the hard work has been done. I'm here to put on a show on Saturday, and that's it. It's hammer time.
There's a lot to be said about Cuban school of boxing, the Cuban roots, and obviously the Cuban talent. How does it feel to be able to represent Hoboken, New Jersey, and Cuba in this event?
Well, I'm a few different types of Spanish. I'm Cuban, Colombian, and Dominican, but, when you're a student of the game, everything comes together. So I'm real, graceful and proud of my roots.
We look forward to seeing you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Avius, what was going through your mind there in that final face-off?
I'm going to show him. I don't know what the fuck he think. I don't know what they think. Talking about what I fought, who I fought. Man, I done fought death. Yeah, it's like that. We're going to see.
This man has said all week he doesn't believe you're on his level. He doesn't believe you're ready for this stage. What do you plan to show him on Saturday?
Belt to ass. That's what I plan to show him. He going to see what's going on with me. I don't know what he think, what he got going on, but he going to find out real fast.
Good luck, Avius.
Good luck, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Julian Rodriguez versus Avius Griffin. Tomorrow night live on DAZN pay-per-view. And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving right along to our next contest. It is an eliminator for the WBA Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing first to the scales, he is undefeated as a professional, 16 victories, opposite no defeats and 1 draw, with 9 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Maldonado, Uruguay, please welcome Victor Latigo Rodriguez.
Victor Rodriguez fighting out of Uruguay, but he's fought primarily in Argentina, which is the neighboring country for Uruguay. What do you expect from Rodriguez tomorrow night against Raul Curiel?
Well, both of these guys are undefeated, bro, and like the winner goes the spoils. Hopefully, you know, his boxing ability and technique is intact, and both of these guys are very powerful fighters. So we look to see a very 50-50 type fight. Anybody can win.
Official weight for Victor Rodriguez, 145.2 pounds. And now his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night, undefeated in his professional career, 15 victories, opposite no defeats and 1 draw, with 13 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico, please welcome Raul Cougar Curiel.
Let me tell you something, Antonio. I had the privilege of calling his fight last year against Lex Rocha. That was a fight of the year contender, and man, this guy just does not stop coming. So much power, especially when he lets his hands go to the body.
Oh, wow. Well, the 13 knockouts indicate that. Did have 1 draw, but I believe like somebody old has to go. Somebody old has to go tomorrow night. Don't miss it. 10 rounds.
This man believes he can be a world champion sooner than later, currently ranked number 4 by the WBC.
Official weight for Cougar Curiel, 146.4 pounds. And for the final time, before tomorrow night here in Anaheim, Victor Rodriguez and Raul Curiel face off.
So this will be the final fight before the co-main event tomorrow night. And Raul Curiel has promised to stop his opponent tomorrow night. And I wouldn't doubt him. He is ferocious.
It's an intense face-off. Security have to get in between. Both of those guys are ready to fight tomorrow night.
Mexico versus Uruguay tomorrow night. Part of this, what should be incredible, competitive night of fights live on DAZN pay-per-view.
Raul.
And we're here with Victor Rodriguez, all the way from Uruguay, looking to make history. How does it feel to see your opponent for the last time before you walk into the ring? Estoy aquí con Victor. Está buscando hacer historia, obviamente, en el boxeo. ¿Qué se siente ver a tu oponente por última vez antes de que subas al ring?
No, no siento nada. Voy a sentir todo el sábado por la noche. Y es lo que voy a hacer lo que vine, que hacer historia con el boxeo en Uruguay.
I don't feel anything. Whatever I feel, I'm going to feel Saturday when I make history, because I'm going to go with everything. And with that being said, we talked about La Garra Charrúa. We talked about the claw, the Uruguayan claw. What does that mean to you as you walk into a ring? Cuando hablamos de la garra charrúa, ¿qué significa para ti cuando entras al ring?
Bueno, la garra charrúa significa más que nada
que somos 3 millones de uruguayos, que hemos ganado mundiales de fútbol y todo, y bueno, y ahora yo voy a ganar un mundial en el boxeo.
It means that I come from a very small country of 3 million people, and we walk in and we actually take World Cups, and now I'm going to take a World Championship to Uruguay as well, making history. Thank you very much. Best of luck. Muchas gracias. Suerte mañana.
Bueno, muchas gracias. Gracias a ti. Esté pendiente de la pelea, que va a ser una gran pelea.
Así será.
Well, Raul, last time out, we saw you in a Fight of the Year contender with Alexis Rocha. Are you expecting another on Saturday?
Of course, this fight not gonna be the exception. We're representing Mexico. Arriba México, es para todos los mexicanos. Ciudad Madero, Tampico, Altamira, Tamaulipas. Let's do this. I can't wait to put on the show.
You made some changes after the last fight. You're working with Robert Garcia now. Are we going to see a difference in you in the ring?
Of course, I think I'm one of my best shapes of my career, and I can't wait to put on the show, still the show, and get the 25K for me.
Good luck, Raul.
Thank you very much. Arriba México! Arriba Raza! Vamos!
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Uruguay versus Mexico. Victor Rodriguez versus Raul Curiel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our co-main event of the evening tomorrow night here in Anaheim, live around the world on DAZN pay-per-view. 12 3-minute rounds for the WBA and WBO Unified Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, the challenger. Fighting out of the red corner, he holds a professional record of 27 victories versus 2 defeats, with 25 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Cienfuegos, Cuba, please welcome the former IBF and WBA Cruiserweight Champion of the world, the KO Dr. Juniel Dorticos.
Hey, Antonio, a lot to love about this guy. Amazing one-punch knockout power, 25 KOs in his 27 wins. He's been in the ring with very high-caliber competition. The negatives, he's been very inactive, and he's 39 years old.
You know, 39 years old don't automatically cancel you out, because I was winning titles at 42. But I did have that long amateur pedigree and experience. But I like his knockout power, and I learned a lot more about him today as a father. He's a single parent doing this thing called boxing. My hat goes out to him, bro.
Official weight for the challenger, Julio Cesar, 198.6 pounds. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the defending champion fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night. He holds a professional record of 47 victories versus just 1 defeat, with 30 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Mazatlán, Sinaloa, Mexico. Damas y caballeros, presentando al campeón unificado, Gilberto Zurdo Ramírez.
You know, Antonio, usually these 200-pounders just get in there and kind of hammer it out. But he's got, as you would say, skills that pay the bills, a former super middleweight world champion.
Yeah, when you're a super middleweight and you move up all the way to cruiserweight, that talent and skill set comes along with you. Man, this is going to be a heck of a fight. I love Zurdo, man. His pressure is undeniable. And so we're going to see, can Dorticos handle that pressure tomorrow night.
Not only is Gilberto Ramirez getting bigger, he seems to be getting better. He says, this is my weight class, and he has looked amazing in his past few fights.
Official weight for the defending champion, Zurdo Ramirez, 199.8 pounds. And for the final time before tomorrow night, we see Juniel Dorticos and Zurdo Ramirez face off.
Can you believe just a couple of years ago that man was weighing 30 pounds less in the ring at super middleweight?
I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it.
And he's even talking about after perhaps becoming undisputed at cruiserweight. He wants to go up to heavyweight and follow in Alexander Usyk's footsteps, but he's got a real tough one tomorrow night against Dr. KO. Both men predicting knockout. Who do you have in this one, Antonio?
I got to go with the champ, man. I got to go with the champ. But he can't look past this tough challenger in front of him tomorrow night.
Cuba versus Mexico for the unified cruiserweight championships of the world in our co-main event of the evening. These guys have been very respectful all week, but right now they have plenty to say to each other.
You can cut the tension with a knife right now.
Dorticos, the mandatory challenger for Zurdo Ramirez. It all goes down live here from Anaheim, California. The champ, 47-1 with 30 KOs, taking on Dorticos, 27-2 with 25 knockouts. Plenty of power on display. Let's hear from both of these guys. We'll start with the challenger, and he is with Claudia Trejos.
Baby, that was intense. That face-off was intense. What was going through your head? Esa cara a cara estuvo intensa. ¿Qué te pasaba por la cabeza?
Me pasan muchas cosas por la cabeza bien malas. Yo vengo a pelear, yo vengo a matarlo.
A lot of bad things come through my mind. I'm here to win. I'm here to fight. I'm here to kill him. You've been very respectful up until now. Where's the switch? Estaba súper respetuoso hasta ahora. ¿Dónde está el switch?
Yo siempre he sido respetuoso, pero esto no es show solamente, la gente sabe que yo vengo a pelear aquí.
I've always been respectful, but this is not a show, I'm here to fight. Well, we wish you the best of luck, muy buena suerte, te vemos mañana, we'll see you tomorrow.
Gracias y los espero a todos.
Thank you.
Zurdo, we don't usually see you say a lot during a fight week or at a stare down. You had a few words to say to Uniel there. What did you say to him in that last moment?
Viva México, cabrones. Mañana voy a mantener mi título. Dice que viene bien preparado. Vamos a ver. Es bueno porque le vamos a dar un buen espectáculo a la gente, pero ese sitio se queda conmigo, los dos. A huevo.
Want to add that in English?
Yeah, I will keep those belts. And he said he come in really prepared for the fight. I'm ready for whatever he brings. I don't care.
You love a toe-to-toe fight, but that's a man with a 93% knockout ratio. Do you want a physical fight on Saturday?
I want everything. Whatever he brings, I'm ready. Estoy listo para lo que traiga él. No la va a hacer. Estoy listo. ¡Viva México, a huevo! Vamos a demostrar quién es el mejor. Mejor crucero. A huevo.
Good luck, Zurdo.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, our co-main event tomorrow night for the Unified Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Uriel Dorticos versus Zurdo Ramirez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the main event. The two men headlining the bill tomorrow night live around the world on DAZN pay-per-view from right here in Anaheim, California in the Honda Center. 10 3-minute rounds in the Cruiserweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner tomorrow night, he enters with a professional record of 54 victories versus just 6 defeats and 1 draw, with 34 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the former WBC middleweight champion of the world, El Orgullo de Culiacán, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Well, Antonio, people in the know say that the best version of Chavez Jr. beats Jake Paul, but does that version still exist?
That we're going to have to find out tomorrow. A lot of times we believed in Chavez Jr. He let us down, didn't make weight a couple of times. So if he's focused and determined, it's going to be a heck of a fight tomorrow night.
Well, I called his fight last year against MMA fighter Uriah Hall, and Chavez looked like he was just sleepwalking through that fight. Got booed in the crowd, but his body looked much more soft than it does right now. He looks fit and trim.
I agree with you, Todd, and I saw his demeanor throughout the week, and this is what I was impressed with, the way he's talking.
Official weight for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., 198.4 pounds. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night, he enters with a professional record of 11 victories versus just 1 defeat, with 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Last time you all saw him fight, as did over 100 million people. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Dorado, Puerto Rico, by way of Cleveland, Ohio. He is the problem child, El Gallo de Dorado, Jake Paul! Official weight for Jake Paul, 199.4 pounds.
He looks like a Mack truck.
He looks good. He looks good. Ripped from head to toe. This is the best.
And for the final time, ladies and gentlemen, before tomorrow night, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. face off.
Well, this is going to be a fun face-off. Chavez Jr. already bouncing on his toes like they're about to ring the bell for round 1. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, live right here from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, we see the return of the former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and the return of the problem child, El Gallo de Dorado, Jake Paul, live on DAZN pay-per-view tomorrow night.
Jake Paul says he wants to be taken seriously as a fighter. Well, Antonio, he's in a serious fight tomorrow night.
He is in a serious fight and 1 fight away from really becoming a contender in world championship boxing.
Here's Claudia Trejos.
Thank you, Todd. Well, we're finally here. You had a lot to say. There's a lot of going on here. What is your last thought before you walk into the ring? Hay mucho que has dicho, hay mucho que se ha dicho, mucho lo que ha pasado. ¿Cuáles son tus últimas palabras antes de que subas al ring?
Mira, no más palabras, a lo que venimos, a pelear y a ganar.
I have no more words. I'm here to do what I came to do, and I'm here to win. Well, he's here to win, and he looks ginormous.
Yeah.
How are you gonna overcome that? Él está aquí para ganar y se ve inmenso. Dame en la esquina para que te vea ahí la cámara. Dale.
No lo voy a cargar.
I'm not gonna carry him. Muy buen punto. No lo vas a cargar. ¿Qué le vas a hacer? What are you gonna do to him?
Ganarle por golpeándolo arriba, abajo, al cuerpo, porque tuvo muchos problemas para el peso. Ayer hablaron de su equipo que querían que el pesaje se moviera hasta las 10:30, que iba a venir hasta las 11. Entonces vamos a aprovechar los problemas que él tuvo para el peso.
I'm going to hit him hard. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to go to the body because he had a hard time making weight. We got a call this morning. They try to push the weigh in until 10 a.m. So I'm going to capitalize on that. But I am going to take the win. Thank you so much. Best of luck. Muchas gracias. La mejor de las suertes.
Thank you.
Well, Jake, people have been clamoring for you to face tougher competition. That's a man with 54 wins on his resume and a former world championship. How do you feel going into this fight?
This is the best I ever felt. Man, fuck this guy. Tomorrow night, people are going to see I really do this shit, Chris. I really do this shit at the highest level, doing the impossible, manifesting it in my mind. I know who the fuck I am. I really do this shit, and tomorrow night, I'm knocking him the fuck out and doing what Canelo couldn't.
At his best, this man was known as someone with a great chin. You mentioned Canelo Alvarez, he couldn't stop him. Sergio Martinez, he couldn't stop him. Why are you so confident that you can knock him out?
God has given me the ability. God has given me the strength. God is good. And the problem child's a real fucking dog. Oh, 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 oh. I'm knocking him the fuck out, Chris. Let's go, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. live on DAZN pay-per-view. Thank you all for watching the official weigh-ins. We will see you tomorrow night live on DAZN from right here in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California.
Well, that was fun. Jake Paul barking like a dog, Antonio. He is ready to get in there and do some work.
Man, I just want to, the matchmaking is unbelievable. All these fights are 50-50. We don't really know who's going to win. You got to tune in tomorrow night.
And who would have thought that the person talking about the other guy struggling to make weight would be Chavez Jr. talking about Jake Paul? Do you think there's any validity to that at all?
We didn't know, or didn't hear anything about it. We don't know. We're going to have to check our sources.
All right, well, let's show you what we're going to have tomorrow night for you live here on DAZN. What a pay-per-view it's going to be. And the prelims start at 12 noon here local time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Those will be free, so get started earlier. And you can then catch Fight Night live, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch everything on the DAZN app. Go to the schedules section, click on boxing, and you'll see it there. One of so many great fight nights we have each and every weekend. And of course, we've got a big one coming up July 12th. It's Ring 3 live from New York City.
Berlanga versus Shiraz and Stevenson versus Cepeda. They're in their prime, they're hungry, and they're done being called the future. This isn't about future, it's about now. Because in boxing, legacy isn't handed out, it's taken. 4 rising kings, 2 brutal battles, 1 night to take the throne. Who's next in line? Berlanga versus Shiraz, Stevenson versus Cepeda. Ring 3, July 12th, live, only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Some big cards coming your way. Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. That's Saturday, July 5th. Then the next weekend, Ring 3, Berlanga and Shiraz, Stevenson and Cepeda. And then we've got Usyk Dubois, too. This is a different Daniel Dubois than fought Usyk the first time. Can't wait to see what happens July 19th live from Wembley. And joining us here live is none other than the Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya. You were up on the stage. How did that feel?
Ooh, man. First of all, man, Antonio Tarver. Finally, you guys get somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Chris Mannix is going to have words with you a little later on. Hey, Jeff.
I'm telling you, the energy out there was intense. You know what? I picked Jake Paul earlier when they started camp. Now, looking at Chavez Jr., the way he looks, I might change my tune and go with Chavez now.
Really?
Man, he looks good.
Yeah, he does look good. And he was the one making fun of Jake Paul for maybe struggling to make weight. That's a big flip of the script.
It's huge. It's huge. But look, he's got the experience. He went 12 rounds with a world-class fighter in Canelo. You know, he has the blood, the pedigree, Chavez. He has the hunger. This is his last opportunity, and he has to seize it.
All right, so Jake Paul saying, I want to be taken seriously as a fighter. This is his most serious fight, Oscar. How does he beat Chavez Jr.? What does he have to do?
You know, first of all, you must take Jake Paul serious.
Got to.
What he's doing, what he's done in the past. Yeah, he's fought a few YouTubers and basketball players and whatnot, but now he's facing a real fighter. He really wants to become world champion. There's no hiding from anybody when you want to become a world champion. You have to face the best. this is the first real test, and it's going to be a tough one.
Hey, I was talking to Antonio a little earlier on. He thinks the KO doctor is going to give Zurdo Ramirez all kinds of problems, even at 39 years old. What do you think is going to happen in that fight, Antonio?
Somebody getting knocked out. I don't know who, but somebody getting knocked out. Both of these guys are too strong, too powerful, and they're too determined.
Your fighter, Zurdo Ramirez. Yeah, is this his toughest fight at cruiserweight?
It's a tough fight. It's a very dangerous fight because sometimes Zurdo starts off slow. Dorticos is a fast knockout artist. His record speaks for itself, but this is a great opportunity for both guys because the winner, woo, woo.
You just make the noise here. You're Ric Flair all of a sudden. You got two other fighters on the card. Joel Iriarte is back, and Raul Curiel after that fight of the year contender against Lex Rodriguez.
Oh, Rocha, excuse me. Raul Curiel, that great war against Rocha. I mean, he's right there in position to fight for the world title if he wins. That's a big if, because the other kid, undefeated, he's a tough guy, so it's going to be a war. That's for sure. Iriarte, oh my God, we have a star in the making. We're going to polish that diamond till it turns into who knows what, but we're going to keep polishing it. Yeah. And then the fight of the night. Oh my gosh, Kid Austin versus Farmer. That's going to be a hell of, that might steal the show.
Hey, a lot of people are saying that you kind of pushed Schofield into this fight. Did you have to persuade him to fight Tevin Farmer, or was he like, give him to me?
I had to pull him back.
Really?
He wants to fight the world champions. He wants to fight everybody. He wants to fight King Kong.
So it was you pulled him back from Shakur Stevenson, huh?
Not me. I wasn't there. Not me. But I'll tell you one thing. I think Kid Austin is going to seize the moment, but I'm scared because Tevin Farmer, he's the real deal. He apologized to me up on stage saying, I'm sorry, I'm going to derail your plans. I go, champ, you go out there and put up a great fight. That's all you got to do.
Well, hey, what I love about this card, there's so many competitive fights right from the opening get-go. Scrappy Ramirez kicks off our prelim card. That's at noon local time here in California, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Follow us all day long. And then the pay-per-view kicks off at 8 o'clock Eastern time. For Antonio Tarver, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, I'm Todd Grisham. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Everyone's got something to say.
There is a new king of violence, and his name is Jake Paul.
But with every comment, a fighter grows stronger. One is defending a name, the other is building one. The ring doesn't care where you come from, only if you can survive in it. Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.